into the Maratha Light Infantry Regiment. He superannuated on the 1st of November 2021, and his last assignment in service was as the Commandant, National Defence Academy, Karakwasla. Prior to that, he was the GOC in C, Delhi area. He has also been the Colonel of the Maratha Light Infantry, and the General has served in the most difficult assignments in the Army, including in Siachen and in counterinsurgency operations. General Mistry commanded an infantry battalion in Siachen Glacier, a mountain brigade in Upper Assam, and Rashtriya Rifle Force in Kashmir. He has now joined the Rashtriya Raksha University, Gandhinagar, as Director of the School of Internal Security, Defense and Strategic Studies. I now request Lieutenant General Mistry to give us a brief on the activities of the War Wounded Foundation.
General V.P. Malik, the former Chief of Army Staff, our chief guest for today. General Oberoi, the founder president of War Wounded Foundation. General Ian Cardozo, the vice president. Two of the stalwart founder pillars and motivating force of this foundation. General B.K. Sharma, the director of USI, distinguished guests, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen, and above all, the war wounded personnel who have come for this seminar. On behalf of the foundation, it is my privilege to welcome you all for this joint seminar co-hosted by the USI and War Wounded Foundation, and give you a brief insight into the activities of the foundation. The primary purpose of the seminar is to highlight the challenges, concerns, and aspirations of the war-disabled personnel of our country, create greater awareness and understanding of the problems, is also to share experiences and learn from each other, particularly through some very inspirational stories of the war-wounded personnel themselves. I would like to thank you all for your presence, which is ample testimony of your support for the worthy cause of looking after these brave men who lost their limbs and organs in the prime of their youth on many a battlefield defending the nation. The War Wounded Foundation was incorporated in August 2002, almost 20 years ago, by General Oberoi just after his superannuation from service on 1st October 2001. He's been very ably supported by General Cardozo in this venture. The foundation has been set up with the aim of creating a sustainable avenue for the financial independence and long-term rehabilitation of war-disabled personnel of the armed forces. The aim is to ensure that all war-disabled personnel become productive citizens by participating in the economic development of the nation, besides being able to supplement the pension, including the war injury pension, and thereby empowering them to lead a comfortable, respectable, and most important, a fulfilling life. There are nearly 10,000 war-disabled personnel scattered in all parts of the country. On account of the extensive employment of our armed forces on both the external and internal challenges faced by the nation even today, regrettably, there is a constant addition to the number of such personnel. This is an environmental reality, a part of the professional hazards we face. Therefore, we have to have adequate arrangements to look after war-wounded personnel. And in this venture, we must be able to supplement the efforts of the system by way of such committed institutions like War Wounded Foundation. The foundation is managed by only 3 persons. The office bearers take neither any pay nor an honorarium. We have a modest office in Delhi manned by 2 persons who are paid employees. We are now in the process of setting up regional offices in different zones of the country. The foundation does not get any fund from any government agency. All activities are wholly and solely financed by donations from individuals, trusts, groups, military formations, and philanthropists. During the initial period of the foundation, recognizing the reality that most war-disabled personnel would want to remain in or around their villages, having served in far-flung areas, we endeavored to take the work to them by organizing outlets or sub-dealerships for them in their villages or close to them, in conjunction with select corporate houses whose products have a rural market. This innovation resulted in these soldiers becoming soldier entrepreneurs. They sold the products in their villages and earned commission on the sales without feeling overhead. This was a successful venture, and we were able to secure outlets for nearly 100 disabled persons. A few years after, we changed tack and commenced providing skills to that would assist them to stand on their feet. The skills identified are spoken English, computer literacy, communication skills, small repairs on TV, mobile, radios, etc., welding, cycle repair, and driving autos. As some of the older war-disabled personnel were reluctant to learn new skills, we have opened the facility to their wards too. Today, even in bigger villages and small towns, commercial training institutions are available. Hence, those desirous to learn new skills close to their homes, the foundation pays for their training. We call them skill scholarships. We have so far disbursed more than 6 lakh rupees for such scholarships. We visualize more personnel coming up to acquire skills for themselves or their wards. The foundation's other activities include filling teams of war-disabled personnel in various marathons. We had been doing so for the past 10 years before COVID brought temporary suspensions of such activities. Our participation, especially in Mumbai Marathon, which is a well-organized and lively affair, has been highly appreciated. We have taken part in the Delhi Marathon too, but I have found that the ambience lacks spontaneity, maybe because it is far too bureaucratic a city. Both our Vice President, General Cardozo, and the President, General Oberoi, with their artificial legs, have prominently participated in these marathons. Such participation is for the twin reasons of visibility and motivation, besides mutual bonding and showing that disability is not the end of life. Our next project has been for provision of disabled-friendly toilets for those who are confined to wheelchairs at their homes. Over the years, it was realized that soldiers with paraplegia or quadriplegia often lead a dejected life due to complete dependence on their family members for everything, including the most basic requirements like use of toilets. Therefore, it was decided to provide disabled-friendly toilets along with suitably modified wheelchairs so as to minimize their dependence on others. We have so far provided this facility to 7 war-wounded soldiers. This indeed is a capital-intensive venture, but we are determined to implement it, as the benefits to the seriously disabled persons are immense. We also plan to provide such special toilets at facilities which the veterans usually frequent, yet those confined to wheelchairs are reluctant to do. The places we have in mind are the Jilla Sainik Board offices, which are co-located with veterans' canteens and pension-paying offices, as also ECHS clinics. We would request active support of Command Headquarters and Rajya Sainik Boards for this venture. Conducting rallies of war-disabled personnel has been one of the major outreach activities of War Wounded Foundation. We have so far organized 4 major rallies in the past. The first was at Delhi in 2007, with General J.J. Singh as the chief guest. The second was at Chennai in 2012, where the chief guest was General S. Padmanabhan. The third was in June 2016 at Chandi Mandir, where the chief guest was General K.J. Singh. And the fourth was held at Pune on 6th May 2017, where the chief guest was the then COS, late General Bipin Rawat. Albeit COVID-related restrictions over the last 2 years have greatly constrained these outreach activities. However, with gradual improvement of the situation, we would ramp up such initiatives. We have a dynamic and active website where insight into the activities of the foundation are uploaded. Observing norms of complete transparency and probity, details of all contributions are declared on the website. As we complete 2 decades of dedicated service, 2 of the pioneers would be hanging their boots, so to say. That is the President, General Oberoi, and Vice President, General Kaval. I would be failing in my duty if I do not acknowledge their most invaluable contribution right from laying the foundation of the War Wounded Foundation and nurturing it over the years, building its financial strength and organizational capability, and providing a yeoman service to the war wounded. On behalf of the next generation of the leadership of War Wounded Foundation, I would like to reassure them of our commitment, sincerity of efforts, and honesty of purpose. I'm also sanguine that we would continue to benefit from their experience, knowledge, and wisdom.